ask a really hard or good question to clarify. And if you do that with your team and then you sit and you role play it with each other until where it just feels like it's coming off the tip of my tongue, the whole team will be more confident and you'll do a lot more business. Yeah, so here, let's give everybody some work. So here's what you do. If you have a team of 3, 4, 5, or 10 people, grab your 3 highest contributors in different places of the business and sit down with them and say, let's write down every single objection we get from our customers. Let's just write it down. And then let's find a way to acknowledge the customer's concern. And first of all, the A part, acknowledge, is to be sure that what people are thinking they're hearing are actually the concerns. People won't make decisions because they're not in a hurry. They're not worried about something. They maybe don't have the money. They're just passively interested, or they need permission from somebody else to make a decision. So if I'm sitting here having a conversation with a customer, I want to understand which is it of those concerns that they're addressing so I know how to communicate with them. So in the AMA process, write down, okay, here's the list of objections. What is the best way to understand what somebody said, or what somebody was saying or intended? This is a filter. So how could you acknowledge what the person said? Then what kind of motivating statement could you make? It's like if I'm in the used car area and or in the service area and some customer comes in and we're selling extended plans, I could ask and say to the customer, hey, would you like this extended plan? And they say, nah, I don't really need it. So what I'm hearing you say is, and in this case, if you're smart about how you structure your business, what I'm hearing you say is you'd rather pay more over the next 5 years to service your car than be on our plan, which would allow you to pay less. Acknowledge. No, that's not what I said. What I said is I'm moving out of the country, I'm moving out of the state, and I won't be living here. Oh, okay, now I understand what I'm talking about. But if they say, no, then you say motivate. Many of our customers felt the same way, but they realized the savings they were going to get by buying the plan, and they're disappointed over time when they didn't do it because they're like, I should have done it. Ask, if we could save you a whole lot of money over the next 5 years and you can have a sense of security that if anything goes wrong with your car, it is fully taken care of on this plan, would you feel good about that decision? Like, just ask the darn question, or what other information do you need to make a decision move forward, right?
I love asking a hard question.
The harder your questions, if you ask a hard question, this is my opinion, if you go straight to a hard question, you haven't acknowledged what they said, sometimes you could be asking the wrong hard question.
That's true.
So I like to understand what people really, plus when you perfect the AMA process, and you acknowledge, you can reframe their comment in a way where they actually have to hear themselves.
Which is sometimes scary for people because they don't know what they're saying.
They'll stop and they'll look me straight in the eyes and say, no, that's not what I said. And say, okay, then can you please ask me your question again? Because that's what I heard.
But that's how they're speaking to their customers. That's how they're speaking to their team members. They have no idea that that's the way that they're engaging.
Man, the best thing I ever did is listed objections from business owners when I launched my first business, put a video camera, the old video camera, I'd set it in front of me, and I would do this in my head, and then I'd say, well, here's my answer, or here's my question.
You'd role play with yourself.
I'd role play with myself until I felt like I had a really good rhythm.
Yeah.
And if you do that with your team, so write down your objections. How do you acknowledge those objections? How do you ask a motivating question, and then how do you make a motivating statement, and then ask a really hard or good question to clarify. And if you do that with your team and then you sit and you role play it with each other until where it just feels like it's coming off the tip of my tongue, the whole team will be more confident and you'll do a lot more business.
Well, and if you're nervous to do this with your team because you want to practice your skills and make sure that you're sharp first, this is one of the things that we go through at Cardone Ventures and at our 2-day executive summit. So, I mean, they should come and role play with us, and he's the master. So if you can role play with him, being able to role play in any other scenario with your team members, with your customers, it's like cakewalk.